Lawyers representing medical marijuana patients are threatening to go to court to stop some of the new restrictions the governor is expected to sign. Lawmakers passed that bill yesterday. It requires dispensaries to grow at least 70% of the pot right there on site. And dispensaries would not be allowed within 1,000 feet of schools, colleges, or child care facilities. Dispensary owners will have to have lived in our state 2 years. And the bill would allow cities and towns to ban dispensaries altogether. CBS 4's Rick Salinger live outside a dispensary in southeast Denver. Rick, it seems a lot of them would have to shut down if this becomes law.
Jim, it's estimated as many as 50% of the 1,100 medical marijuana dispensaries around the state could have to close as Colorado sets up regulation and enforcement under the Department of Revenue.
You might say medical marijuana dispensaries sprouted up like weeds. Now new statewide regulation is expected to weed out about half of them. Not Denver Relief, whose owners anticipated many of the provisions in the newly passed legislation, like producing at least 70% of the marijuana internally.
You grow all this yourself?
The majority. We do have a couple strains that we use with growers that grow to our specifics, that use the nutrients that we require, the growth mediums that we require, but for the most part, yes, it is grown completely internally.
Strains like Trinity Sweet Skunk and Sour Diesel.
The bills that were passed are so wide-ranging, they cover everything from security at dispensaries to medical marijuana edibles.
There's marijuana-infused chocolate truffles, even hash lollipops. Bill sponsor, Senator Chris Romer, told the CBS 4 Morning News distributors of marijuana will change.
We're no longer going to have dispensaries. Hopefully they'll be more like wellness centers and clinics than kind of the retail, hippy-dippy thing we've been doing.
The object, he says, is to provide medical marijuana for those who truly need it and shut the door on those who have been using this as a backdoor legalization of pot. Many cities and towns across the state have banned or put moratoriums on dispensaries.
Is it fair to say this battle is not over?
This battle is not over, yes. It's been a 5-month, battle to get to the point where we have this new medical marijuana regulation.
He says they will challenge the bans in the courts and, if necessary, even at the polls. Jim?
Hippy-dippy Rick Salinger. Rick, thanks very much. Some cities, including Denver, have already adopted their own regulations for the dispensaries. For example, up in Breckenridge, voters passed a measure allowing people to have small amounts of marijuana. Coming up on Denver's Only 630 News, the club that town leaders say is skirting the law and allows anyone to get high.